What's up, y'all? So today we're going to be talking about external validation versus self-validation and which is important and which one you need to let out the door. And I'm pretty sure y'all know which one needs to go to the left. External validation usually starts at an early age, and it comes from the hands of teachers, family members, parents, cousins, friends. You just always feel the need for praise and approval. There are 4 very obvious signs that you are someone who seeks external validation, or basically functions off of external validation. The first sign is constant need for approval to feel good. Meaning, if someone does not like what you're doing or disapproves of whatever you thought was cool, honey, you're gonna feel like all hell broke loose. You're gonna cry. You're gonna spiral. It's not gonna feel great, and that is something that can be very detrimental to your own personal mental health. And we don't need that. We don't need that. Second sign: if you posted a photo or video or whatever, and you don't get enough interaction with it, meaning likes or comments, and you end up deleting it because other people didn't like it, even if you thought this was like the best MVP picture of the year, but because it didn't do the numbers you were expecting, you deleted it, you are someone who seeks external validation. And I can understand how that may mess with someone's self-esteem, but at the same time, it's like if you love it and you want to share that with people, just because they aren't interacting with it the way that you want them to or you expect them to, does not mean that your picture's not bomb. Your picture is bomb. Keep it up. Keep it posted. Show them that beautiful face. And that's it. Be unapologetically you. Third sign that you depend on external validation: you are literally terrified of rejection. Like, if someone rejects you, your heart breaks and shatters into a million pieces, and you feel like the world's biggest loser. You want to jump off a cliff, and it messes with you. It brings you to a very dark place. We don't need that. We don't want that. We don't like that. You gotta go. The fourth sign that you are someone who is very dependent on external validation is you are a people pleaser, meaning that you would rather make someone comfortable at the expense of your own happiness. Let me just say that again for the people in the back. You would rather put your happiness to the side to validate other people's feelings and make them feel comfortable. You have one life to live, and you cannot spend the rest of your life making sure that other people are happy. Do what makes you happy. If other people don't approve, oh effing well. This is your life, not theirs. Now we're going to get into the effects of external validation. The first effect is a loss of identity. You start to lose your sense of self because you are so used to altering your personality to accommodate others. People at this point feel like they are a lost soul. They don't know who they are, what they like, because they spent so much time creating this altered personality at the expense of other people. Second effect is you have no emotional boundaries whatsoever. You literally put your feelings and your emotions at the bottom of the barrel, again, at the expense of other people's happiness and pleasure. So, and this can show up in like a lot of ways. One of those could be sexual validation, and people feel like the need, especially women, where they feel this need to be pressured into having intercourse with someone for the sake, just to keep them around, just for them to like them, because they feel as though if they do not share themselves in that way, they can't keep that person. That is not true. It ends up being very detrimental to their mental health and their emotions. Also, saying no, like, you have a hard time saying no to people because you don't want to upset them. That is another sign of you seeking external validation and having no emotional boundaries whatsoever. So that's something you need to nip in the butt and get rid of. Start saying no, honor your no's, honor your yeses, and honor your body, soul, and mind. Men too. Like, y'all feel the need like you gotta hit everything and quit it because the homeboys are talking about it. Like, no. If you want to have sex with this person, that person, whatever, do it. But please, don't do it because you want to keep them around. Do it because you want to, if that's why you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Another effect is you start to develop deep-rooted insecurities, meaning that you feel like there is so many things wrong with you. Like you just have a plethora of issues with yourself. And that again comes from the need to create this perfect person in the eyes of other people because you are seeking their validation. Like, you're going to hear me say validation a lot in this video, side note, because this is what this video is about. Another effect is you are never receptive, and you take anything that anyone says to you as a personal attack on your character. And this again has to do with the fact that you thought you created this perfect person. And this also has to do, this really applies to people who become narcissistic as they seek external validation. So when someone tells them they're not doing something right, they take it as an attack, because in their mind they're doing everything to create this perfect person. So if you have a problem with it, it's like, for what? Like, I created this perfect human being. How can there be an issue with me? No, baby. There can be an issue with you, but it's also okay if you do have flaws and if you do have an issue. And it's also okay to be receptive to criticism. As long as it's not insulting, you can be receptive. Another effect is you have performance anxiety. This is something that I struggled with and still kind of struggle with because I am fearful of messing up when it comes to singing or just speaking in front of people. I have this deep-rooted fear that I'm going to mess up, and then I get shaky and just uncomfortable with doing something that I have a passion for doing or I know I'm good at, because I'm scared of other people thinking like this isn't good, or she's gonna mess up and sound terrible, or it's just... Another effect is painful emotions and dysfunctional behaviors when invalidated, meaning when somebody does not give you the response or the validation that you need, you start to go crazy, like bananas. Like, you start doing off the wall stuff that you usually wouldn't do, because it's like, okay, if this person thinks this way of me, I might as well do this, that, and the third. Like, no, honey. Still honor yourself and honor what path you're on. Even if somebody is not like with it, it doesn't mean you have to become a dysfunctional being. It doesn't mean you have to go and act out of character because other people aren't validating you. Like, let's say you're somebody who is used to having anger issues, for example, and you spend a lot of time working on that and working on how you communicate with someone. And then someone comes out the woodworks like you're still this angry person. So because this person said that you were an angry person, did not validate the hard work that you've been doing on yourself, you go crazy and like, okay, well, this person thinks this of me already, I might as well just be that. Like, no, don't do that. Continue doing what you were doing before. If you know you've been doing the work to be a better person, and then Sarah Beth comes out the woodwork talking about you're not, and you're still this and that, and you know you're not that, why in your right, like, why would you want to go and just prove them right? So now I'm going to get into self-validation, how to work on that, how it shows up in your life, and what it does for you. The definition of self-validation is the feeling of having recognized, confirmed, or established your own wisdom, internal experience, thoughts, and feelings. Misconceptions of people who are able to self-validate are that they are conceited, have a God complex about them, and they lack accountability. Do you ever come across people who seem like they're so full of themselves, or like, let's say they're just somebody who is very open about who they are and really can care less about what you think about them? And I know somebody may come to your mind. You may have had that one kid in school who stood out against everyone and really didn't care whether y'all liked them or not. Y'all could have said and made jokes and did whatever you wanted to do, but every day they was showing up as the same person, and y'all cannot change that. That is somebody who knows how to self-validate, and those people should be honored. Those people is who you should be looking up to, not the ones who are trashing other people to get on top and just being mean and malicious to be liked. What self-validation can do for you in the long run is help you calm yourself and manage your thoughts and emotions more effectively. It also helps you develop better skills at handling your intense emotions, like top tier, I'm about to have a mental breakdown, like yes, it helps you manage that way better. And you also gain a sense of wisdom. Like, you gain more wisdom because you are learning yourself more and also learning to not give a damn what other people think. So, ways to work on self-validating. So, this is where we get the tea, this is where we get the knowledge, the juice, all of that, okay? Your first step, you need to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means being present with yourself and your surroundings, okay? It means tapping in and tuning in. Listen to those thoughts, ground yourself and feel your emotions. Do not try to escape them. Acceptance builds strength and resilience within you. Once you start accepting how you feel about certain situations, instead of trying to mask it, you learn to self-validate because you're not looking for outside ways to escape them. You're going within yourself and learning how to cope with them. And you don't need others' assistance on doing that because you can do it yourself at this point. When you seek external validation, you are codependent in many ways. With your emotions, with the way you look, with the way you act, like you become a codependent being. Take time to reflect and make sure that your decisions are based off of your personal feelings and morals. If they don't feel like it's you, don't do it. State the facts of your internal experience. Do not exaggerate what is actually happening. For example, like let's say you ask somebody out and you're someone who fears rejection. They reject you and you don't feel too good about it. Please do not be in your head convincing yourself you are the ugliest person in this world and nobody is going to love you. Instead, the best way to go about it is just recognizing how you feel. You know, like, of course that didn't make you feel great, but you can also look at it in a different perspective rather than just exaggerating the circumstance. Better ways to go about it is just, hey, this person is not meant for me, or maybe I just simply was not meant for this person, and the right person will eventually come along someday. It's kind of just retraining your thought process and trying not to think the worst of yourself when things don't go your way. Practice being kind to yourself, just retraining your thought process and trying not to think the worst of yourself all the time. Because when you can't find it in other people, you know you can find it within yourself. Validating by history. Your thoughts and emotions may be triggered by past traumas. When you recognize why certain things trigger you, you gain a new way to connect within yourself, and you also gain, again, a sense of being able to self-validate. So, with that being said, I just want people to be able to find a sense of love, like, within this world. It can, as beautiful as it is, it can be very cruel and very hard. And it's not ideal to look for a pick-me-up in other people. Because at the end of the day, you came in this world by yourself and you're going to leave it by yourself. So the best advice I can give to you is just finding that sense of validation and that sense of love within yourself. Because then you won't need it from anyone else. Then certain things won't make you spiral. It won't trigger you. It won't make you feel terrible because you know you look good. You know that you are a great person. You know you are a phenomenal being. So if someone who especially does not have your best intention comes to you and tell you otherwise, you will be unfazed. And that is something that I spent the end of 2020 and going into 2021 working on, because I have very deep-rooted insecurities. And again, I had to recognize where that came from. And growing up, I did get bullied. I did get bullied for the way I looked, the way I acted, the way I talked. And I did start to alter my personality and started to lose a sense of who I was. For the longest, I did not know who I was until I started tapping into myself and spending more time with myself and getting to learn and know myself. And I feel like that person, that Janae, my true form, is coming back to me. And that's just what I would want for all of you. Practice the steps of learning to reconnect with and self-validating so that we can stop seeking this external validation, because at the end of the day, none of that matters. That's really all I have to say to you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video or learned something. And yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to DM me on Instagram or text me if you have my number, or leave a comment, whatever it is. I am here and I'm open and I'm receptive to everything. I hope you have a great day or a great night, whatever time it is that you are watching this video, and stay blessed.